Let me flip this and see if it's working. You know, I'm looking at it thinking this looks pretty darn good, but then I don't know. I have to flip it and see. Yeah, it looks a little odd. The hair. This is what I love about Photoshop. Now I can fix what it's obviously weird about it. You know, kind of. I saw Aaron painting his Kid Carter the other day, and it looked really good. But he's using acrylics. Acrylics are really tough to do right. Oh man, it's like painting with acrylics like painting with Elmer's glue. It just doesn't flow. It's really really difficult. I can do it, but man, it's not easy at all. But I don't have much experience with oils either. I think oils are easier, but I don't really have much experience with them. The thing about oils, of course, is it takes forever for them to dry. And that's a problem. It's a real problem sometimes. You're trying to get the art out and stuff like that. Okay, her nose a little pointy. Let's shave off some of that. Little sliver. She's looking cute though. She's got attitude, but not obnoxious attitude. You know, not this feminazi crap that you see now. And all the characters, they're pissed off and they hate men. It's just like, oh, you know, you're selling fantasies to men. The last thing they want is to have a girl who hates men. You know, the guys want to be liked. They don't want to be hated. At least in their fantasies. I mean, it's like in the real world, yeah, you know, it's hard to avoid being hated by. Nah. The fantasy all men have to not be hated by a woman. And they make them all hate women. Okay. Looks cute. Doesn't this looks like oil? You know, see that is an oil feel. So I love Photoshop for this. Maybe I'll just work on it flipped like this. Okay, we're gonna close a couple of these windows I don't need. Marcus says I should have done the front cover. Let me go back for a second. We're talking about Dick Giordano. He could draw ladies too. Honestly, I'm not super familiar with Giordano's ladies and stuff. I should have done the front cover. Well, I don't know. You know, the thing is, it's Aaron's book. Even if you know you may like something that I do that looks good and stuff, it's you know it's his book and it's got to be his showcasing his stuff. You know, that's the thing. Sometimes you don't want to step on anybody's toes either. I want to. It's kind of weird, but I want to do when I work on these comic books. I want to draw my friends' comic books, but sometimes they don't always necessarily want you to do that. That you want to find out whether they like it because some of them are just like, hey, that's my comic book. What are you doing, messing with my thing? So you got to be kind of careful when it comes to doing these things. You want to help out, but you don't want to hinder. If you hinder in any way, then you're not helping. So. That's the thing about the Comics Gate group is, my advice to anybody who wants to get into that gang of people and hang out and stuff, is figure out where you can help. That's the ticket. And if you can't help, then maybe it's not the place for you. So it's kind of like, because there's been a number of people coming into the group, and they get really frustrated because they can't, they're not getting their books promoted by Ethan and stuff. And it's just, you have to have something that no one else has to bring something to the table. And think about how you can do, it's like that old thing, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. So when it comes to independent comics, think of something that you can do that no one else can do, and then do that, offer that. And don't look for any kind of handouts or anything like that. Some of these people are just like, why don't you back in my book? Well, you can't back everybody's book. Or you can't support everybody's book or promote everybody's book. Do the best they can do. But if you come in and you have something to offer and oh, that's really cool, you can do that and no one else can do that, then next thing you know, you get involved in something and you get the audience, they share their audience with you. But see what you can do to help out first. It's kind of cool to have you can see where I had my sketch drawing here, and now I'm just going over the bits of it. And you really don't have to do a whole lot before it starts to sort of shape and mold into the look you want. And let some of that loose drawing shine through. Yeah, when it comes to the Comics Gate group and asking what can I do, this is what I can do. I can do tutorials and teach people. Even I hope sometimes that my peers, my fellow Comics Gate guys, will take a look at some of the stuff I'm doing and maybe there's something I can learn. They can learn from me. That's what I'm doing it for, and because I'm learning from them. Learning from each other. That's pretty cool. Grassroots kind of stuff. It's awesome. Just get rid of some of these construction lines. By the way, if you could share this link out and stuff like that when anytime I'm doing these things, if you're on YouTube, if you're on the Twitter or something, try not to watch it through my streams through Twitter because I want to get monetized. Currently I'm at 2,200, and I need 3,000 watch hours to get monetized, which would be nice. That'd be a lot of fun. I'd love to get some money out of it. Being on YouTube, it's not just fun. You have to make money too. Although this is fun for me. A lot of people can't draw with an audience watching. I got no problem with it. Although it is a little bit distracting. sometimes it works to your advantage because you're so, you're not, when your brain is sort of half on, it can actually put you in autopilot a little bit, and you end up being kind of more instinctual. Now for the gun. Yeah, check out my, if you guys are new to the channel or anything, check out my YouTube channel, my tutorials. I got so many great YouTube tutorials. I think they're great anyways. It sounds a little conceited, doesn't it? But like I did when doing metallic shines and how to do different kinds of metallic shines. It's so useful if you're a colorist and that sort of thing, knowing how to, understanding metal and how to make certain metals, make different kinds of looks on metals with different kinds of reflections. You can get super shiny, like chrome, and then you can get more dull, brushed metal. So I figured it out. So you don't have to. Take advantage of these years of drawing and painting that I've put into. Because you can figure it out yourself, but why? How do I do I feel like that Kit Carter is going to have a Buck Rogers type gun or something. But I want to keep it kind of cool, modern too. Buck Rogers with a little bit of Sid Mead thrown in there. It's kind of cool. By the way, anybody know who Sid Mead is? He was the guy back when I was starting out my career. He was the gay guy, no? He was a gay guy, yeah. But man, look at that guy paint like a son of a gun. So I met him once, and he signed my book. He said, "Good." He signed it. I got that book, Obligón. It was a great book. He said, "Good luck, Dan, in your future travels." So that was very nice. I think he tried to hit on my brother, actually. It's kind of funny. But Sid Mead was the guy who's he worked on all Blade Runner. He was a big instrumental artist on Blade Runner. But it was Tron was another one. He was really a big he was a big designer on that one. And first off, he was an industrial designer, cars and all that kind of stuff. But the movies, Aliens. I mean, he worked on all that stuff, all those movies. Big influences. All right, gun's not that important, so I don't really care. Let's see who else is here. Oh, Belle Winters is here. Awesome. I love the Belle. I love the Shane Davis speech for what was the movie? Fourth of July, or gosh, what was the sci-fi movie that's from? Yeah, Past Master. Oh my gosh, painting with with acrylics is painting with Elmer's glue. Actually, though, there was a guy when I was in art school. He was one of the instructors, and he painted with with acrylics, but he used them. He watered them down in paint and used them as like a watercolor. He approached it with just washes after washes. Man, was that stuff cool! It was really interesting. So you can learn how to use any kind of medium in any way, and but people don't think that there's an option of watercolor, watering down something and using it on for in a way you wouldn't think you would do that. Unusual usage there. Headless Borgios. How do you say that word? Not French. I don't know how to say that word. Borgiosi. Borgiosi. Headless Borgiosi. Is that am I saying it right? Headless Borgiosi. You've probably seen a lot of Giordano's work over Neil Adams. Yeah. Yeah, probably. Yeah. If that's the case. Yeah. Grab an oar. That's right. '81 Modus says, "Hey Dan." Well, hey. Independence Day. There you go. Thank you, Bell. Appreciate that. Yeah. Inappropriate. The funny thing is, these guys, the people taking down the channels and stuff, they strike you down. But man, it it just makes people. It just reinforces. I'm going to flip this back here, by the way. Reinforces the need you have to fight for freedom. Freedom isn't free. That's the phrase. And you have to continually fight for. People always want to take away your freedoms, and you have to fight for them if you want them. And that's what's going on right now. It's sad, but people want to silence voices that they don't care for. And it's like and for some reason, maybe it's always been this way. It's coming from the left, it's not coming from the right. When I was younger in art school, it's like all I heard from the left was freedom of speech, freedom of speech, freedom, and I agreed with them. I'm like, yeah, you guys are right. I may not like everything you guys do. That it's a little weird, some perverted things and things like that. But I really agree with you. You have to be free. I may find it offensive, but I agree with you. You have to be able to. And now, I'm finding out. Very disappointed to find out that when it comes to just conservative ideals, they actually want to shut those down. They're not really for freedom of speech, and that sucks because I was hoping that right and left one thing we could agree upon is that freedom of speech is paramount and essential. Essential. Got to have freedom of speech. And turned out some people just, no, they don't think that. That sucks. So you got to be, freedom of speech means freedom for speech you don't like. That's what it's really there to protect. Oh, I don't agree with you, but I want to protect your right to say it. And it also allows, freedom of speech also allows for mistakes. There's been times I thought one way and then I changed my mind. So freedom of speech allows you the right to be wrong. And that's important. That's part of the issue is everyone thinks they're right. I think I'm right. But I have been wrong. And it's embarrassing later. So, do I put a helmet on her or not? If I put a helmet on her, I got to make it smaller. The gun kind of sucks. It's not symmetrical. That's the thing about tech. That's the thing about one of the reasons I like fantasy is it doesn't have to be always be so symmetrical. I hate drawing, things that are like, oh, it's got to be so perfect. I like organic stuff. It's just a little more free and loose. And let's see if I can get this. I think the problem is this connection here. This part of the gun just isn't cool. Yes, I reserve the right to be wrong. Yeah, put a little highlights, shine marks on this, kind of help it up a little, help it pop a little bit. All right, that's less shitty. Okay, what time is it? Oh, it's almost 8:00. Comics Gate Kings is coming on pretty soon. I wonder. So Ethan said he was starting at 8:00, but I don't know if sometimes he's a little late. Technically, I can go on that show. If I have I'm in the room, to go on the show, but I don't because I don't want to take away from guys who are trying to sell their books. If they're trying to push a book, but if they need me, man, I'll be right there. So that's why I kind of like to do it. But if I have my own book at some point, then I'll be in there fighting for a position. That's the weird thing is you doing this stuff is like you can be a good artist, but you're not necessarily a good YouTuber. I'm okay, but gotten better. But man, you you have to be both good at both. It's like not easy. So how's that? Is she looking cute? It's kind of fun. I feel like maybe the hair just needs a little more messiness to it. The hair's just a little too perfect. Like, I want to soften it up a little, flare it out a little bit. And the thing about hair is you can, with the Photoshop and painting, you don't have to have the hard edges. All right, maybe I'll try. Let's see, what time is it? I said 10 minutes. Let me check on the Comics Kings guys. Wait, first I got to go back and see what is being said. Okay, Headless is going to help me pronounce this. Bourgeoisie. Okay, bourgeoisie. Is there's no R? You don't say that bourgeoisie? It's bourgeoisie. Well, you got to say it like French. Bourgeoisie. I'm terrible at French. Oh, thank you, Belle, for confirming words of wisdom. I learned the hard way. Obviously, and some of the wisdom has penetrated my knucklehead skull throughout the years. Marcus Pilgrew. I'm Kelligrew. The First Amendment is unique in the world. Other countries just don't have anything like it. I had no kidding. And we're in danger of losing it here. If these, knucklehead morons, can't get it through their heads that how important it is. Freedom of speech has nothing to do with personal discourse. It's about speech against the government. We can sue each other against over speech, but the government can't. Yeah, but unfortunately, people, it's Roy. What's going on with a lot of people is they they see personal speech as political. That, oh, you didn't say the right pronouns or something. Now all of a sudden they politicized your opinions, your personal things. Like, that guy's a weirdo. Oh my gosh, that's suddenly Arthur Boy, Matt Barr dislikes you a lot. I know. I couldn't help it. I laughed at a joke that Riley made, and boy, that did it for me. Whoosh! He came down on me with like a ton of bricks. So, but I didn't mean to piss him off, but whatever. That's the way it goes. You can't laugh. You can't. This is the thing. I feel like sometimes a lot of the conservatives they're just as bad as the liberals. You gotta laugh. And it's know what a joke is. It's like people joking is clearly joking. It's like so. But whatever. People they get hurt feelings and all that sort of thing. I understand that too. But yeah, he laid into me, and now he's pretty mad. So, and he's very, very tough online with people. So, but that's it. We don't have to deal with the other. We don't have to. We can go to our corners and. Okay. I don't fight with people like that though. It's move on. Okay, now I think I'm going to try the give her a head bubble. Actually, I've got to check first, unless someone can check for me if the Comics Gate Kings boys have launched their show yet. Let me see. I could call this Pre-Kings. I should do this, like do this show and call it, because it used to be a Pre-Kings show, and it was run ironically by Matt Barr. So that sort of has been vacated, and willingly, and so that's kind of open. Yeah, I don't see Ethan up here yet. So sometimes he comes in at 9. Sometimes he goes on at sometimes he goes at 8. Sometimes it's 9. But he's not up yet. So I'm just gonna keep drawing. Oh, really? You tried defending me on one of the slum stream, and Matt started at me, and the others jumped in. Yeah. That's okay. That's fine with me. They all say that I'm sort of in Ethan's pocket and stuff, and that sort of thing. So, but I agree with Ethan. I'm sorry, I agree with him. So that's. I'm not gonna join their hate group. Forget it. I don't hate Ethan. I love him. I think he's great. So that's just my opinion. And they don't like it. So they want they want you to go with the way they're going, and it's like, nah. I just don't agree. I think he's doing a great job. So I understand all he went through, and it was really, really rough. These guys, I don't think they understand it.